And we are back. Once again, we've got G2, we've got Mad. We're going through all the games that happen in this one. As, let's be honest, I have no clue how this will play out. We are slightly behind the series right now, where they're only into Game 2, I believe. Or just finishing Game 2. I don't know. But here we go. Game 2 should be interesting. As we've got Draven, Olaf, and Kennen maybe removed out here. Or Darius, removed by Mad. G2 removing the Gragas, removing the Vi. These are standard bans against Mad. Cassante actually going to be the ban out here. That makes a bit more sense in some regards. But G2, what's their last ban going to be? I mean, you could throw one at Mad's bot lane with Rakan, the most known pick for Hilly, or his Pike, you could say. But that is a standardized ban out from G2 against Mad. Does leave open to Maokai, but let's be honest, Alyoya has not been playing this pick at all. He wasn't really playing it when it was main meta, like last year, before and after MSI. But he's playing it here, he's playing it now. It's going to be a good old time if you think about it. As G2 get the Nautilus Flex and the Aphelios. Probably the two big picks for this G2 comp. With Caps obviously being very good on this pick, as well as a Mickey X bot lane special. Mad's response, I dare say they'll lock in the Xayah Rakan. Not Rakan. Xayah, possibly, or the Jinx. Get some aggression into that bot lane. Now Mad, how do they want to play it? Jace is up and available, and it will be locked in. That flex still is available. Chasing Nova is Jace being very explosive on the pick. But now, Kazi has a strong carry as well. And this is a completely different looking Madline squad to what we saw in week 1. What we saw against T1. They've got a completely different style of draft as Kha'Zix comes through for Yike. That tends to make me think that Nautilus is going to go mid, and so bans will be thrown towards what Niski could possibly play, because Jace to me just seems too much like it's going to go to Chasey. But Braum going to be removed from the field, and Mad's bot lane and technically G2's is being pinched. Thresh is up and available, so I could see that ban coming through. Or G2 picking that up in the start of the second phase. What else can Hilly play? Ral is another big pick he does play. But Mad, removing Kennen. Not going to allow Broken Blade that big pop-off carry champ that he's had. Darius also is a pick that I could see being banned out by Mad Lions if they're wanting to take away from the top lane. But, you know, Gwen is also up and available. I could see that being removed. I think that would be more than ideal for Mad to ban out is the Gwen. Because G2 currently would have very minimalistic AP damage, other than the Nautilus, who builds some in his kit, but it's not that much. G2 ban out the Thresh as expected, and so I can't wait to see how G2 will go into this second pick phase. Do you lock in your support here, or do you, and say Broken Blade, counter pick top? Or do you lock Broken Blade's pick in here, assuming it's going to be Jace top, and then go for a counter pick support? I personally think you go for the counter pick into the top lane, but Annie is in. That's so many flexes on G2 side. They're keeping their draft so unpredictable here. And Mad, it's hard. You don't know where the Nautilus is going. It's either going to be flex between the Annie or the Naut. It's so hard to know what G2 are doing here. So you lock in Leona. You get some strong, heavy engage. Just to deal with how Nautilus will play. And Hilly probably will try to relieve pressure in that mid lane if Nautilus gets aggressive. Nah, locked in, actually means that Niski is getting his Jace. But what's important to note is the Madlions draft has very little AP as Yasuo top for Broken Blade. Oh my days. What a pick. This is going to be interesting to say the least. Because a lot of explosiveness on that G2 side. They just want to fight and win them out. You've got Nautilus Depth Charge to pair up with the Yasuo as well. I like this comp for G2, though they are relying very heavily on Nautilus to land the hooks to secure picks and or flash tibbers. Other than that, there's no real way for G2 to get into and cause mayhem and fights. As for Mad, you've got the Nature's Grasp with the Speed Gate coming out from Jace to get the Maokai and the rest of its team into the fight. I think Mad will be happy that they're going to be skirmishing a lot with G2 here. However, I do realize that the damage may be an issue for Mad. So, relatively speaking, we are seeing two very big drafts from this Mad squad and this G2 team that are going to be looking to basically excel and explode the game into a mass snowball. As we get onto the rift for this best of 5. Mad going for a level 1 play. Cheeky level 1 on that bottom brush. Standardized things. I'm actually surprised Hans Sama has gone for a long blade start. A longsword, I should say. Obviously, these two bot laners aren't going to go for the Cull. Obviously, G2 have been playing with Cull on their carries. But clearly, they're expecting some action in that bot lane. And the ability to farm being mitigated due to something. But I think how this is going to turn out is it's not actually going to be Glacial Augment on Leona. Kind of known for seeing Glacial Augment supports in terms of engage supports as a big thing, but isn't going to come into fruition. Now, what I could expect to see now is once Hansama goes for his first back, him picking up a Cull, but that's again wishful thinking, as I have just a hard-on for Cull in recent times. Anyway, mid lane, go see just the two probably goats of the mid lane. I'd say these two are bigger goats than what Perks and Caps are for the West. They're definitely Europe's best, to be honest. Anyway, we've got time on our hands to discuss how these lanes are going to play out. Mid lane should be Annie favored. Obviously, get the poke and harass down with the ability to stun is the expected outcome. Plus, with how Yike has been this tournament, making early ganks towards Caps has been what he has been doing as the spear goes wide. Wait, the Void Spike. Never mind. He's not playing Nidalee. I'm used to him playing Nidalee. God damn it. Anyway, bot side. Nautilus lands a hook onto Leona. Just gonna get the aftershock procced and stay alive. It's top side. Yasuo into Na. Broken Blade getting chunked quite low. Obviously, still maintaining a CS advantage. That's so clean for Broken Blade. G2. Oh! They waited! Kazi forced the flash out. There's the flash response from Hansama. Gravitum gonna root down the ADC in first blood. Goes over to G2. That was so well played. Using your wards, waiting for the back from Hilly to go through. As soon as that does, it gets better. We get a TSM. So, if you don't know, I am going to MSI, the semi-finals. If I do not hear a TSM chant in the venue, I'm going to be truly upset. But, you know, the series so far, stepping up, or showing how I expected it to be, as G2 just commanding the early game. In some regards, it's been without, like, really any investment from Yike, who's been able to clear out his camps. He is slightly behind as the hook comes through. Bot side Hilly going forward, flashing forward onto Hansama, force the cleanse out already. But it's just trades. Hilly taking a lot of damage though. Will he go in for a re-engage? Mickey certainly posturing to hook him as he goes forward. He is not gonna land the hook. And so G2 just gonna maintain pressure, or take the pressure in the bot side. As Tibbers is the priority for Niski as bot side. For Maokai, looking for a play, just gets hooked up immediately. Not going to be able to do anything here. Elyoya disengaging. And that essentially feels like just a play to get as the hook comes forward. Hilly is the target. He's taken very low, rooted down, goes forward. Chakram Stack's doing work here for G2 as Hansama is finally gonna fall. It's gonna be Mickey gonna die out to Elyoya, but Kha'Zix kills off the Kazi, and somehow Mickey is alive. G2 getting away from this play in the bot side. And Mad just not gonna get anything. They kill off Hansama. I guess they get something. But, yeah, that's not good. As Caps baiting. Trying to get some advantage for himself. Apologies for that. There we go. Not that much of a gold lead, though, picked up here for G2. They are sitting with some advantages, don't get me wrong. Is that bot lane, very, very explosive. You have to feel Yike will make a visit down onto Kazi once again. Because Hansama, he is just securing the farm here, freezing the wave out on G2 side of the Rift. But anyway, watching again. Sees him with the sweeper. Hook comes through in the straight way. Lands it. Roots from the Gravitum gun from Hansama. It just means that G2 are freely able to put damage down. A great Q out from Elyoya. Secures the kill onto Hansama. But Yike jumps over the wall. Kills off Kazi. It's an inevitable 2-for-1 trade in favor of G2. And Mickey gets away with scrapes of his health bar. Flash from Broken Blade. He's dead, basically. Nature's Grasp does what? He's getting the ult out. Not going to be able to kill off Yike, but Niski, he sees a Mickey X. That's going to be the Chakram stacking up for Hansama, firing them out. Is going to get the execute down. There's a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Niski falling behind now as Caps freely pushes in mid. That's so huge if you're G2, especially Hansama. Well, the gold goes into the pocket of Jace and the bot lane of Mad. He doesn't stop Caps, who is scaling up, picks up a turret plate for himself, forces a TP out from Niski as well. But Caps now has pressure mid, which tends to mean he'll be able to freely roam around the map. Mickey denying backs. Zap gonna go wide. Mickey just forcing him away from the wave. Top side, Yasuo has caught out the Gnar in mini, using the ult, but isn't going to be able to pick up a kill. On the bot side, Hansama is getting jumped on. Cleanse is forced out. TP going to come through from Caps, as here comes G2. They're looking to try and trade back in the spot side, but Niski catches out Yike, forcing out the ultimate from the Kha'Zix, means he's able to get away. Look at the damage coming through from G2. They're pushing into this turret. They're going to be able to get a lot of the Chakram stacks out. But flash forward, Hook just kills off Leona. But on the bottom side, Yike is so low. Everyone's so low. Nautilus dies. But G2 somehow get away with a lot of gold in their back pockets. Just taking stock of everything as Yike gets taken very low. Yike? Close, but no cigar to the Grump. Big thing to note about items coming through into the inventory. Galeforce picked up 40 Aphelios. Stopwatch for Caps. He's going to be looking for a bit more of these flashy plays if you catch my drift. As Yike almost dies to that shock blast. But Tibbers blocks the escape as Mickey, he dead. Unfortunate the kill went over to Alyoya there. You really would have wanted that into Kazi. But no. Kill goes over though to Mad. And they're going to be happy to turn that into a Drake. First Drake of the game, actually very late. All things considered, Mountain Drake will give them a bit more resistance, so this is beneficial regardless of whom gets it. We won't find out what the soul is till a very late part of the game. In fact, another 10 minutes till we find out what riff we're on. And so, as the two teams move down towards this bot lane, Infernal Drake, it appears we're going to get a really bad Drake, aren't we? It's either going to be Cloud Soul or Chemtech Soul. Good hook. He's caught out. He's isolated. Hansama has the root gun, but the damage from G2 isn't that high. Galeforce forward trying to avoid the Solar Flare, but it's not going to be enough from Mihili as he falls. Wow. G2 somehow making it out of these plays with tiniest smidges of health. Nature's Grass comes through. I don't think Elyayo was expecting G2 to jump over the wall and tank 2 of those. But yeah, he is going to be able to get a couple of lockdowns. Won't result in too much. And now G2 and Mad, in some regards, just going to slow the game back down. You have to feel the longer this game goes on, the better it gets for G2 in some regards. They have high amounts of damage, and the ability to just burst out targets becomes more and more prevalent. And here, Hans Sama isn't going to be able to get a kill. He's not even involved in killing off the Madlions members. And instead, what's happening is Mad are going to pick off jungle and the supporters. There is Niski to clean up Hans Sama. Big play from Madlions to get the gold back into their back pockets. Because you look at them turret plates and how many fell in favor of Mad in comparison to G2. That is a 700 gold swing G2 got there. And the fact that them kills just got picked up, it's pulled the gold lead back to an even state. This play here, you have to feel, is G2 realistically targeting the wrong person. Hylissang, he too bulky. And while Hansama gets so many chakram stacks, he's unable to use them onto Mad because he's fearful of the re-engage from Hilly. He's fearful of the damage that Elioyu can put down, and essentially, because he backed away, the chakram stacks fell off, and Elioyu, well, Niski is able to kill him off. I forgot names there. Good job, me. Anyway, it's surprising how much gold Mickey has in comparison to Hilly. Gonna probably be a very late mythic for the Leona. Is Mad right now, looking to ascertain pressure bot side. Niski is pushing in the wave, trying to secure for himself, as that's going to be the last breath coming out from the Yasuo. Gonna be forcing the flash out from the Gnar. But G2 are up here. Maokai is forcing back the Kha'Zix. G2 are looking for the dive. They're dropping Herald already. Nature's Graph thrown out as Herald also is there. It's a TP as well from Caps, locking up the targets as the Graviton flies. It's just all of G2 top. Not gonna die to that and get a double kill and a turret for themselves. Honestly, such a clean dive from G2. Turret aggro juggled very effectively, and that's looking to secure the bot lane tier 2, which is the exact same thing Niski gets. This game feels so even in some regards, as the teams are just making plays effectively across map, but Yasuo got the call this game. Oh, and Jinx got one. No, Jinx didn't get one. Oh, what am I doing? I'm surprised Yasuo got a call in this game into Gnar. Broken Blade is very... does have a decent CS lead as Cleanse, burnt by Hansama. Drake, though, in the sights G2. Never mind, it looks like they're going for kills as Mickey just gets chunked out incredibly quickly. Chasey almost about to mega out. He's playing this smart, not getting megaed out until now. Lands the stun, but he is just bursted out before he's able to press the ultimate button. As G2, Aphelios is just firing in freely. Yasuo dies, but is it going to be the end of the Madlions as Caps is here? He's killing them off, shutting down the Kha'Zix Jinx, and this is G2 winning out the fight and probably going straight to the Baron in 2 minutes time. Oh god. Why did I say straight to the Baron? Baron's not even up. Hilly. Hilly. Oh.
I don't think we actually got to see Broken Blade use that ultimate. I thought that he would use the Wind Wall to block the Nature's Grasp and then perhaps follow up on an engage from Mickey.
So.
He
Game state, from being close, is now wide open in favor of G2. So how this fight starts is just Mickey being aggressive, Nature's Grasp, but you see what Mickey's done. He's using the depth charge through the 2 frontliners of Mad, and because Kazi is unable to kind of do anything here, because Chasey gets bursted out, there's no real engage options on this Madline squad, because they died almost instantly at the start of the fight. Then it's just a clean follow-up from G2, wiping the floor with Mad, and there you go. Hook lands. Nature's Grasp used out by Elyoya. Going to be tanked up by Mickey. Depth charge used as well. And it looks like we're getting a fight as CP comes through from Diani. Going to drop immediately Tibbers. Bursting out Kazi. He down. Hansama gets the double kill. Looking to step forward as Broken Blade's here as well. Damage coming out from G2 is so high as that's a triple kill to Hansama's Aphelios. Mid lane tier 1 falls. And hello, Baron. I thought you were going to be doing this 2 minutes ago. Turns out you're doing it now, as Baron is the prize for G2. Yeah, this is going to die exceptionally quick. No contest could be made here by Mad. To be honest, as we watch this again, just a great hook from Mickey. Elyoya tanks a lot of damage and uses Nature's Grasp, but when that goes, you've really only got the Leona as an engage tool, who isn't really able to protect. She's more of a go in and stun certain targets. When she can't do that, it means that the entire backline for Mad just gets absolutely deleted by Caps and by Hansama. And as that happens, there's no way for Mad to kind of stop it, because they just have nothing to deal with it. There's not a real strong peel in terms of the champions. And as such, G2 just gonna cruise with Baron. Tier 2s are in their sights. Obviously, they've crushed open the top lane tier 2. But Mad, stepping forward, it's shaping up like a fight is going to happen. Broken Blade on a flank angle. But tier 2. Bot side is the target for G2. As they're pushing it in, Hansama taking chunks out of it. Nature's Grasp thrown out. Mickey playing smart, getting as many of the roots as possible. As Nar gets hooked up, bursted out, not able to press any buttons. As G2 continues to fight on the top side, as it's gonna be Hilly taken low as the last breath comes through. It's good night to the entirety of Mad. As they could end here. They could definitely end here. Hansama's taking a lot of damage. Force the status. Red-white guns means that this turret should be shredded open. Mad Lions just got deleted from the Rift. And game 1 goes over to the Samurais in dominant fashion.
4-2. He was already completed his first major item, but then after that, that fight around the dragon, into the fight around the topside river, into then the Baron, into the game end. Just sequence after sequence.
So we're just going to get into game number 2 here. I'm just quickly looking at some food because I am hungry right now. What should I get? Found what I want to eat, so I will order that for myself. But yeah, let's get into game 2. You have to feel that game 1 was very one-sided. So what we can expect from Mad probably is some difference in terms of their picks, because it seemed like G2 were able to just snowball early game stupidly easily. Even though the gold was fairly even, they were able to push in tops and get advantage inside. But Mad now are on red side. They're making the switch up for themselves over to that. Bit of a surprise, to be honest. G2 banning out Gragas, Vi, Rakan. Same as game 1, I believe. As for Mad, they're moving the Maokai as the Olaf and the Draven join it on the ban list. But G2 Nautilus, it's been what they've been doing all tournament. Locking in Naut, not being essentially predictable as to where that pick is going to go. As for Mad, Cassante though is left open. And that is a big thing in my opinion for flexibility. I would like to see that come through, because it could be flex to Niski. Mad could honestly match how G2 draft, and I would love that. Aphelios makes sense as a whole for a bot lane pick. Apparently, if I remember checking Kazi's stats, which I did before, that's Cassio. But essentially, Aphelios isn't something Kazi's known for. He doesn't tend to go for it. He goes for Ezreal over Aphelios in some regards, or Mad ban it out. Now, G2 still maintaining complete flexibility with that draft. And you match your bot lane, but Cassio is so weird because it can be flexed. I dare say bans here, Annie gets removed. Viego, what else is there? Kha'Zix also. I mean, Yike didn't really do too much on that pick in this game, but you could see Mad removing out AD junglers here with the Cassio lock-in. G2 here, I mean, their bans probably hit the jungle pool as well. If not mid, probably get favorable matchup. You've got Diari still up and available. Lissandra, Gragas is banned already. I could see some bans like that Jace as well remove a pick that Niski, I think, had a very good time on in the first game. So, how do we continue this draft out? Genuinely think we'll see something like what would be good to be picked up here for these two teams. I mean, Cannon ban makes sense. Obviously, Cassio isn't solid in the top lane. Gnar is up and available. That's blind pickable. Chasey has played it before top, which we saw. I'm thinking Cassante will end up top though, but it is still flex. You have to realize it's still flexible, and G2 are the ones to ban in Italy. Lee Sin, I hate it, but could be a pickup here for Alioya. I have to say it because I wrote it in my notes for him playing it so much. Elise, though, That surprises me. I wouldn't have thought Elyoya was an Elise player. But it gets locked in. Try to... See, in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to try to set up Chasey with that pick. You start bot side blue, roam up level 2 gank on the top side. And that would make a lot of work. But G2 have revealed their draft positioning right now. And that would be spicy. It would make sense because you need some AD damage to go alongside the Jinx. But it's more of a bruiser in all things considered. You've got a champion that builds a lot of health, that gets attack speed bonuses as well. Honestly, Yikes Belveth is very, very deadly. And where's the Aurelia gonna go? Because it could go mid as well. I mean, Niski, I don't think is an Aurelia player. Certainly, Chasey does scream Aurelia player. But there you go. Cassante ends up in the mid lane. This draft from Mad has a lot of bruisery frontline. It's reminding me a lot of the T1 draft that we saw in the previous series of bruisers for Faker and for Zeus, and then mere support, well, not support with an engage, and jungle and bot being the carries. So, as we are loading into the Rift for game number 2, I dare say what we're going to see is some pretty interesting plays from these two teams. Okie dokie, onto the Rift we go. Mad looking for a bot lane play yet again. All grouping up as there's a pause.
I will say, even though we only got like 2 seconds of a look at the map, I'm already kind of happy. 5 members of Madlions heading together for a level 1. Some Braum. You lead with
Let's skip through the pause.
You have the passive.
I'm still just trying to get it, like, of course.
And onto the Rift we go. Good skip there. That would seem like a decent pause. But Mad grouped up as 5 once again in the bot lane.
Happy little Lulu in the river. Nothing to see here. Danger averted.
Going for some plays. G2 are not going to fall for it. Take a look at the runes. Nothing surprising altogether. I mean, Airy Lulu, I mean, you could see Guardian, but, you know, looks standard, to be fair. Looks standard.
It's definitely something they would have practiced well in advance. This is a team that loves to cook.
As far as wanting to be mid lane, though, I think the thing he loves most is the long lane of top lane. As we see Yike doing the patented Belveth Raptor harassment.
And this is Yike just playing Yike right now. He does this all the time, just clearing out the enemy camps to start off his play as cleanse used by Hansama. Flash from Hilly, and Ignite also burnt. A lot of summoners in spot lane burnt. But here comes Elise. Scratch the play in the top side. It's a bot side play as Flash comes out from Hansama to avoid the cocoon. Will Elyoya continue forward? No, he will not. Instead, G2 gonna survive the gank and just roam, and Elyoya roams back into his jungle.
Kobe, is what you talked about was you want to see early investment topside from that. The map has
Caps hovering down bot.
And this Irelia is now left isolated, and like sure, the idea Irelia plus Elise, very lethal combo, but when it isolated, the Casio just bullies that matchup to no end.
Exactly. I love that point because it also relies so much on jungle pressure. Otherwise, the Casio just gets to bully you with that range advantage, constantly poisoning you, constantly harassing you. As we watch our wet noodle fight, is that what you guys calling this? These tank battles?
Handbags between these two guys. Cabs was able to get a sizable CS lead because Niski was forced so low at the level 1, so as the wave crashes in, Cabs should be able to open that up once again. Will be about 5 or 6 depending on how many minions he farms underneath this tower.
So one thing we didn't do at the start of this game was look at items. Cool start for the Aphelios. It's top side. Broken Blade forced flash out.
Chase any further, doesn't know.
They're mid halfway roam here. I love this one. Niski's
This is interesting. So Mad investing a lot of time into this bot lane now.
It is just going to be the red buff
And are gonna be stealing away the red buff. Denying some camps from Yike, who obviously did steal away some of Elyoya's top side jungle. As Caps forces wave into the top, into the mid lane to 1.
Especially like that's why often Irelia was considered so good into things like the Orianna and the traditional mages, because of how easily she could stick onto you.
I want to see if Yike goes for second Raptor spawn. Since he started
Yike is here in mid. They're getting on top of the Cassante. Q3 is ready. He is gonna get it onto Nolus, gonna force that one out, and that's first blood over to Madlions. Elyoya gets the kill.
here from Mad. They know what G2's plan is.
Chasey's here. He's CP'd mid. So, gonna roam up to top.
Go to counter jungle again, but Chase
So that it allows Elyoya to secure Scuttle.
up through the river. Elise is there, and they counter the play before it even gets started.
Excellent punish there from Mad.
Bot side. Felio's taking a lot of damage. Gonna be ignited. No, he isn't. What am I on about? He just went red. Anyway, so much damage being thrown out. Caps gets a really good trade onto Niski as top side. Yike gets bursted out.
It's a man once again. Broken Blade tried to trade onto Chasey, but in the end, Elyoya will get the solo kill and steal away the Grom.
Elyoya is
So, early game
incredibly well. This Elise
is an Elise's paradise.
is going to want to start.
She's able to use her kit very effectively. The cocoon is such a good stun for locking up targets, and with the fact that you already have access to your ultimate in some regards, you're able to get 3 extra spells. You think you've got 6 spells for the early game. And so, early plays from an Elise is very impactful until obviously the opposition get their full rotation of kit online. She becomes less powerful, I would say.
He's just been so active on the map here.
And with how team fighting goes for an Elise, you have to think, as that's an all-out coming out from Niski. Q3 is available, gonna use it, pull Caps back, but Flash comes through, he is still alive. Niski diving under tower is gonna fall though, as Belveth is here to slay him. Now Hilly, not gonna be falling victim to an angry jungler on G2 side of the Rift.
Slipping a little bit means that a lot has to be invested from Niski to be able to get that kill.
Broken Blade. It's level 6. Petrifying Gaze come through, and Elise just gets melted under the turret. Great play coming out from Broken Blade, surviving the 2v1. He learnt from his old mentor, Dyrus, how to play 2v1 tops. And that moment right there shows it. G2 coming alive in the second game with Drake in their sights.
Since their top laner 2v1, they know they have pressure.
Matt, though, fighting back. Cassante's here, doing a lot of work. Getting the Q3 back onto Lulu. She is going to be almost dying, but she gets herself some Suckle Bush. Drake goes over to G2, but the first kill of the fight is on Caps, and he is down. And Felios picks up 2, but G2 get the Drake.
They're playing incredibly aggressive in the early game. They know that they're so much stronger, largely thanks to this Elise, and they're more than happy to take these skirmishes, really showcasing the power of the Cassante in the
This is now a weird start to the game, let's be honest. You've got a Felios who is getting ahead early. 2 kills in his back pocket, stacking up the cool, pushing into this turret. Hansama is going to get dove here. But G2 looking to respond. Cleanse thrown out, he's just dead before he can react. G2 are losing out quite heavily here. The re-engage could come through from Mad. Elyoya's here. Mickey next in his eyes, but the Bromstone lands and he is down. Yike trading through. Gonna almost get a kill, but he's stunned up, locked up. Kazi flashes through the turret to get a double kill. And Yike falls with G2 crumbling around him.
Wow, Kazi is popping off right now as Niski's presence on the map is monumental. This Cassante
Honestly, Cassante has been playing so well.
in the skirmishes and in these dives.
They've been feeding the gold into DFL's back pocket now. Mad are coming into game 2 with a far more effective style. As G2 trying to scale up, they may not be able to as the Mad snowball just gets bigger and bigger. Mickey playing with some aggression there. As that least, if she cocoons the Lulu, would die.
This Lulu so squishy in the early game. Hylissang not afraid to get into the fight, and it's very easy with these early power picks for Mad to really dominate.
And credit to Niski and Elioa for this.
Brom also playing really well this game. 6 assists already. Brom is setting up a lot of these plays with the stuns. I'm enjoying how Hylissang has been playing this game so far. Caps hasn't been as effective as his Nautilus has been in the past. Not been able to unleash himself onto the map yet. But this is looking like a repeat dive. Hilly's walking through. Gonna be forced to W back to the minions.
It's dissuaded at least for the moment. Another plate though for Kazi means that his gold continues to accelerate.
Oh my god, he's got kills, plates, and CS advantage. Covering all
That
gold bases for the Mad Lions.
a big gold diff in the bot lane.
4.7k gold more than Hansama right now. 4.4 thousand gold. And that's just such a massive lead. And in an 80
As a 3k gold lead sits on the Mad Lions right now, you have to feel this game is getting scary if you're G2. You need to start to slow down this snowball that Mad are forming.
And this is the meta that has developed over MSI and has been proven here. Bottom lane focus. It's so hard to stop these bottom lane snowballs.
Well, I know how the series ends. I just quickly panned over to my other screen. So, 1 minute until Drake. I'm intrigued to see if G2 try to contest it. Because they have the first Drake. They've got Void Remora pushing in the bot lane. Herald was picked up by Yike. That's such a huge buff for G2. You can get some gold now into the back pockets of your carries. And Hansama getting hits onto this tower. But Mad, they're stepping up 3-man squad here. Looking to contest this one as Harold crashes in. That's a couple plates into Hansama's back pocket. Brought the gold lead back closer. However, Niski was pushing in the mid lane and got a few plates for himself.
Talk about the mental resilience of this team. And very quickly in this game they bounce back. They've been working together very well and they are dominating in the early game.
Yeah, I think the last couple minutes here have been very, very good for Mad Lions. Getting the teleport out of Caps, who has had a lot of trouble on Nautilus trying to keep up with these Cassante roams. No teleport now for him as well. And the Rift Herald not getting a lot of effectiveness, even requiring an extra person just to get off that tower shot that even only got 1 turret plate. So, Mad.
So, taking stock of the top side, something we haven't actually been panning to a lot. Feels very much an isolated matchup with Broken Blade having an advantage here. Gonna throw out ultimates, trading ults. Aurelia's gonna just die. Broken Blade, never mind, just getting through all the minions, healing up, but the turret shot takes him out. And Chasey goes way too aggressive. And Mad misplayed that dive, I guess, you could say. Middling tier 1. Gonna lose a lot of damage. Not going to end up in a plate, though.
Any kind of follow-up or even setup with the dive before the Ace is dead. Then he throws out the ultimate trying to force a 1v1, and then he ends up just getting solo killed. And while the fancy feet didn't look cool, he just handed another kill over to this Casio.
I'm
Broken Blade getting ahead.
Look at the rotation.
ROA in his back pocket.
What is Aurelia doing?
Yeah.
Does mean that the gold swing is quite impactful for Mad, because they can't really fight around Broken Blade now.
Honest Broken Blade is
Is-
saying like, well, I'm just gonna keep this wave as far away from you as possible, or from the tower as possible, and then ends up losing his life.
Great play from Broken Blade. Doesn't fall for the
Micro,
dive setup from Mad.
needs to wait for the rest of the dive to get there, but that was just
He is coming down to group with his team as well.
from Camp Select
So Mad
there
are
with the back step on the open.
securing pressure around his Drake, and probably will secure it. G2 are, however, just watching it fall. Well, I say watching it fall. They're securing and pushing mid, and just trying to deny a Mad from getting into the mid wave as it crashes. Turret plate falls, and Cabs is on the wrong side of the map.
But for the moment, he is the smallest of shining lights here for G2. 2-0-0 on the Casio. First item complete. Seraph's on its way.
Hassan, though,
About 1,000
this is huge. G2 have played the map a little bit better. Just getting tempo.
to be pretty big, as Kazi is 1.6k ahead. Oh, sorry, 2k ahead.
The mid game is something that both of these teams have had questions thrown towards as a result of this tournament. And Mad Lions have found themselves with a lead like this before, and they were not quite able to close it out. So what we need to see now is clean, patient play from Mad. They obviously want to keep accelerating the pace of the game, but when you have an Aphelios and a Cassante, your scaling doesn't fall off. It's only going to continue to get stronger. Of course, when you kind of look at these fights, though, you can imagine that with a Nautilus, with a Lulu, with a Casio, it's going to be harder to play around and execute in the traditional front of that.
Basically, if G2 can catch out Kazi, the fight's fairly even.
It's a slightly tougher opponent.
As Cabs just gets deleted.
He gets Caps in the mid lane. Caps 0-4, and his woes continue as Mad are able to pounce and find their prey. Hillisang puts up the unbreakable. Chasey trading with Broken Blade.
Broken Blade.
Identifying gaze. Broken Blade tanks up a goal.
There's a lot of damage down onto the Aurelia.
Half HP, but should be able to just clear out this wave. Elioyo on his way down to protect his top laner, as is Yike for Broken Blade.
Funniest thing about that tower dive is Karzi is the same level as Caps, and blows him up there with the giant gold lead as well. Broken Blade, though, has Yike behind him.
Protection being added here. Chasey going forward. TP.
G2 looking to make plays. They shut down the Aurelia. Going to get a kill on for the Belveth. Able to slice through the health bar, and that is going to be 2 kills over to Broken Blade on the top half of the fight. It's going to be Hans Sammer caught out. Wild Growth views. Cleanse coming through, but this is a Chem Tank Griff. He's got safety with a Blast Cone. And G2 get 2 kills thanks to Broken Blade, who is just keeping them in this game. It certainly is close in that regard, but the scaling factor that G2 have right now with the Casio just is very, very high. She's a hyper carry in all regards of the matter, and she's just going to be able to do so much damage as this game goes on. Kazi's going to have to play with a lot of safety, because watch this play again.
Having an incredible game, but let's look back at this play as Yike finds himself in a great position. Broken Blade, of course, knows he can play the situation.
Essentially,
Coming in, Nikki on his way down as well. A very
Aurelia is able to just fire into Twin Fangs for free and kill off the target. TP comes through from Caps, and here's the big prize G2 want. Get the Void Remora back on the map, as Belveth's going to secure the objective for herself. As Harold falls topside, Niski forced the flash. Broken Blade stepping forward. But Yike has the Void Remora, can step up here and just get some pressure onto this wave. Harold's dropped. They're clearly wanting to make a push here, G2. As Void Remora causes such a big wave in favor of G2. Hillisang trying to pull it away, but he's just put himself in danger, as the turret is going to probably fall as soon as someone from G2 hits it. Never mind, it's not that low. Q3 comes out from Nisky as he's looking to kill off the target. In fact, it's going to be Lulu bursted out and killed from the rift as Kasante is here, taking out G2 as goodbye and good night, G2 top lane. As Broken Blade somehow is the only one to survive.
Your god is not here. There's no Broken Blade, G2.
And without Broken Blade there, G2 die. Mad is stronger in the 4v4. But when you get Cassio there, this fight certainly becomes a bit more even.
Melted right off the bat with a really good ultimate from Hylissang, and Kazi just being left untouched in these fights with the Infinity Edge completed now as well. You can't afford to underestimate this team, and let's look back at this engage. Oh, actually,
It's just great play from Nisky.
Yeah, huge pick there from Nisky. Gets Mickey under the tower, so then it's just a
Then going forward as Kasante just allows him to get on top of the carries. One by one, falling to just Nisky.
killed the support, killed the AD carry, and back out on the map, and already he's looking for another kill.
They caught Mickey again.
On a killing spree now, 5-2-7 on the Elise, and Mad Lions are just tearing into G2.
We didn't even get to see Mickey respawn. That was death timer into death timer.
It's the life of a support Lulu in games like this. You ever overposition this position, you are caught out. A 5,000 gold lead extending now for Mad Lions. Kazi trying to raise this tower. Will be able to get through half of it. The dragon secured as well for Mad Lions as Dioya takes a second of the game. It is a Chem Soul, so not the most impactful in the world, but still something that you want to get if you can get your hands on it.
And will wisely split up their resources, send the bot lane mid, send the mid lane a bot.
It certainly feels like a European series, doesn't it? With how slow this one feels in comparison to some other games that we've seen here. When it's LCK LEC, it's quick, it's fast, it's bloody. This series seems a little slower, as it was only a 27-minute win for G2. Maybe not even that, it may have only been like 24 minutes. But as we watch how this is playing out, Mad's early game snowball has given their 4 members a lead, and that is what they're relying on here in terms of Mad. In some semblance, this game is reminding me of the first games from Mad and G2 in this tournament, when they faced off against T1 and NG. It's interesting. Cabs goes in with the blast cone. That's such a great engage as Cassio's here. Bursting, killing the Aphelios, shutting it down. G2's 4-man squad is even stronger when they have 5, because Broken Blade shreds through the health bars. And good night, Mad. That seems like a misplay, all things considered, because Nisky wasn't even there.
They will pick up the objective. Oh my.
What was that Baron call?
That's what we call a throw.
It made no, like if Nisky was there, I completely understood it. Force the TP out, turn and fight, you know you're stronger. But Nisky
G2 should not be in this position.
The gold has very quickly closed, and so many of the advantages that Mad had built for themselves are quickly disappearing.
Caps just able to blast cone his way.
Bizarre.
What an
It's such a great blast cone.
I thought that this was really
Boop.
good at the start, but he gets a
Boop.
3-person knocker.
Into the stretch line. Here's Cat. Oh, Broken Blade's petrifying gaze just stuns up Aphelios, so he's unable to heal up. It's just burst from G2.
They're laughing because
Look, he turned away.
I'm not even mad, I'm disappointed.
yeah,
in
Matt,
these guys right now.
they pinned themselves 4 persons separated from Nisky inside the Baron pit. Also likes little shout out to Yike's positioning on the Belveth. He walked up into the river, dashed back to try and draw them out so that the range of the blast cone jump from Caps would actually get him in the middle. It's a little bit of a setup there, and now it's G2 marching towards towers.
So, Baron's on for another minute 30. G2 are pushing in mid. So, the main display is to get the mid lane tier 1 to secure a push, but they're getting kills off it. That's a massive infernum. G2 should back away here, but Broken Blade falls.
God, Madlions, they are the kings of Europe and they don't care about your gods as G2 start to retreat. Madlions looking for the chase a little bit more though as Caps has backed away in the mid lane. Does have the TP if Madlions overstep.
Now this is interesting.
Find themselves in a 4v5,
because
but it really is a hilarious situation where G2 top lane tried to force a 4v5 die, Mad force a Baron 4v5 die, G2 push the bot lane 4v5 die. Like, I feel like
that's a
this
good
is
sub.
quite important in League of Legends, gentlemen.
Well, Europe's making a name for itself here at MSI. It's just not a very good one. Bit of a reputation for seeing how well the enemy team can catch. Madlions able to take a tier 2 in
I'm also intrigued. So Nautilus hasn't gone for the Abyssal Helm first buy, which is kind of surprising with Cassio on the other side, like on her team being the main damage threat. I'm surprised by Caps' build so far. Bit weird, used to it as goodbye Lulu. Belveth can come over. Mad though, fighting on two fronts. His shutdown goes over to Yike. Tracy's here, but the Petrifying Gaze come through. That's such a good knockup by Caps as well, keeping the Aphelios out of the fight as Broken Blade gets the kill. They're re-engaging. This is so much work from G2's team, but this is just aggression. Broken Blade, double kill, just kills off the Aphelios. Goodbye damage on Mad's side as Niski, the only one left available. He is still dead though to Broken Blade as a triple kill. Seems like Broken Blade's this game. Basically, Lulu gets caught. That's how this is started. She dead. Good night. Now Mad Trade go a bit aggressive because they think they can kill Caps. But Broken Blade here splitting the bot lane away from the Elise. And so when Elise steps forward, it's into Yike, into Nautilus, and now Yike has his thing back. Aurelia goes a bit too aggressive. She thinks she can kill off a target, but she doesn't do that much damage. Yike, getting the heals from his ultimate, is able to kill off Hilly. And now, no protection for the Aphelios. Broken Blade can just step forward, firing the Twin Fangs, kill her off. It's a clean fight from Broken Blade. Everyone else, just scrappy. Excuse me.
We reset, we return to the map. A 2k is the goal difference. Kazi on the Aphelios is very strong. But
Yeah. Broken Blade.
Broken Blade, who has his 4th item.
ROA really just keeps Broken Blade ahead. Caps could get caught here, but not going to be jumped on. A minute till Baron. Drake was picked up by G2, I assume.
Broken Blade just melts anyone on Madlions, a veritable Medusa there for G2.
And he melted the objective as well. So during that very, very long replay, they picked up the extra dragon. G2 then evening up dragon
Now,
with Madlions.
game state is in a very even place. G2 only behind by 600 gold. Minimalistic in terms of itemization. But you have to realize Broken Blade is so far ahead at this point in the time. With the ROA, he is at level 16. Highest level in the game. 2 levels above anyone else near him. So Mad gonna have to do some work if they want to kill off G2's hopes in this game. Because G2, if Cassio remains untouched, will punish you. She will kill your carries. Baron is up. Gargoyle Stoneplate for Broken Blade. Going for a bit of a bulkier build, it seems. Not investing too heavily into damage. That's maybe a misplay overall. Because you do need the damage if you're a Cassio. As just Cassio's W doing work here. The miasma just keeps Mad away from G2 as Caps goes in with a Q. He is gonna get locked up, but it's so much damage coming out from G2. They're remaining untouched as Hansama rockets from downtown to chase down coming in from right now, and this is gonna be kills going over to G2. Goodbye, Mad, from this game as G2 get a triple kill onto Hansama. They're looking for more. Yike, he's got on top, and that's the quadra for Mad. Top. I'm going now to get my D. Yeehaw.
Domination from the top side. The rest of the map was collapsing. The mid jungle was being dominated by Aljoya and Niski. The bot lane trades were constantly going in the favor of Kazi and Hilly, and you felt like this game was unlosable for Mad in the way that it was going. But Broken Blade, the shining light, and the second that Baron was started, that was all G2 needed to tear Mad apart.
Oh man, that play, that was a rough Baron throw there. That didn't even get to the level of some of the other Baron throws we've had that were flips. that was just a straight up massacre there. But Broken Blade, that's why they call him the top bomber. He's got that top lane mental. He's seen it before. Whole team inting doesn't matter. He's on this massively scaling DPS threat, the Cassiopeia. Then G2 realize it, and they funnel all in behind him on the bottom side to try and make some consecutive plays off of him and make the comeback a reality.
For Madlions, you're on the brink of a victory then, right? If you played out the rest of the game a little bit more cleanly, that should have been your win. Of course, they were able to bounce back against BDS in the LEC finals. They were able to reverse sweep there, but it feels like just that little bit more gargantuan of a task today, especially with how things have been going for them here in London.
Yeah, I mean, again, huge props to Niski and Aljoya. The early game was so well controlled by that mid jungle duo. You have to imagine that Cassante will not be given away by G2 once again. The dominance and power.
So, we are back. I don't know whether or not Game 3 will be in here yet. It is not. So, we're going to do Game 3, hopefully, through this. As the match list has finally been updated. Let's go Game 3. Draft-wise, Mad are on red. I don't know why they've prefaced red side. Seems very weird for me. First Blood, though, was picked up by Mad. And they look to control early game, it seems. To a point. Let's look at champions, though. Yike on a Kindred. And Fed. Broken Blade on Cat. Did they not learn? Did they not learn from the last game? Oh, God. Caps. Janna. It feels like a salty run back, all things considered. Minus here and here. It feels very much the same thing. 16 minutes seems like the big turnaround. We'll take a look at the timeline just to understand that. 16 minutes. Is that Broken Blade? Or no, that looks like Hansama. Hansama clearly popped off at 16 minutes. So, look at this. Basically, that looks like a turret dive from G2 early onto the bot lane. Presumably, Yike got a mark out of that. Hilly another play bot. Yike kind of responding to a play top. but Hilly gets a kill there. Yike then gets Herald. Plates in top and bot. G2 winning out across the map. Some regards. Plate, they get so many plates. Does it say how many plates got picked up by G2? Well, they got first turret, which usually means they get a lot of turret plates. Yeah. So, 16 minutes in, they kill Niski. They kill a turret. Broken Blade kills Kazi, which means the fight is inevitably over. Because this looks like a long, drawn-out fight. That starts, yeah, it looks like they start down in the bot lane. And then just make their way up here, just being chased. Yeah. And then G2 get early Baron, push out the rest of the lanes, and only concede one kill on Caps for the rest of the game. It just seems like G2 domination from that point on, and Mad kind of giving up. And so, the first team out of the bracket stage is Mad. Tomorrow, we've somehow got 2 series on our hands with the LPL finals and the LCS finals yet again. So we'll be breaking that down when we can. I'm really looking forward to doing that. So thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed all 8 games that we've covered, I'll see you guys then. Why am I showing that? That should not be on my thing.